to show you. See, watch my just recent video I did. I walked the Mackinac Bridge, and right here we have a big thing all about the Mackinac Bridge. Figured I'd show you that, and so I wasn't able to give you all the information while I was walking the bridge. But this gives you all the information about the Mackinac Bridge and the history of it. It says right here, the world's greatest suspension bridges, comparative magnitude. This is right there. Mackinac is up there. It's 8,614 feet. Right there. And underneath, the Golden Gate Bridge is actually smaller than our bridge. They're only 50 feet. The Washington Bridge is only 4,600 feet. Brooklyn Bridge is only 3,468.5 feet. Right there. So that's how big our bridge is, bigger than even the Golden Gate Bridge. And I walked that thing. Here, the foundation piers and abutments of the Mackinac Bridge are built on stone called Mackinac brick. Mackinac brick is formed of broken and naturally re-cemented stone. Fragments from Silurian and Devonian rock foundations concerned that Mackinac brick would not be strong enough to support the bridge. Geologists carefully investigated and its strength before construction was allowed to begin. Castle Rock, north of St. Ignace, is formed of Mackinac brick. I didn't know that. I passed Castle Rock. I never knew that what they used to help build the bridge. That's interesting. Here you see that up there. It says over 2,500 workers braved heights and depths to build the bridge. During 1954 and 1955, crews built the foundation that would support 34 bridges piers of two main towers rising 552 feet above the stratus. Rest of the shoulder base of steel, shredded masonry, and descents 260 feet below the surface. 5 workers, Frank Pepper, Albert Abbott, James Sargent, Jack Baker, and Robert Copeland died on the job on October 22nd, 1955. Bridge workers marked the completion of the towers by flying the American flag. And so that was when they were building it, in the mid-50s. Construction workers' hats and coats. I started at the Mackinac Bridge job In late March 1965, the principal contractor for the construction of the piers was Merritt, Chairman, and Scott. They issued the hard hat with the horse logo and the reindeer as a genealogy. My primary job was to monitor the core drilling for each pier site to determine the quality of the bedrock below. Paul Bloomkamp. Bridge cable measures just over 2 feet in diameter. To make the cables work, workers first span 37 pencil-sized wires into a strand. Then 340 strands were squeezed together by hydraulically operated compactors to make up our cable. There's some of the cables right there. You see it? It's an old cable. They've replaced some of them through the years. You see that green? Yeah, that's that color of our bridge. Look at that big bolt back there. The size of that winch thing right there. See how they have to adjust that? Guys working on it. The bridge workers stood on catwalks made of chain link fencing with wooden boards attached to improve footing. They adjusted 12,580 wires in each cable, usually at the night when the hot sun would not expand, and contract the wires. The lightings that lit up the catwalk for the night shift was too attractive. That bridge designer David Steedman worked with the bridge authority to arrange the entire bridge to always be lit at night. Right there you see the guys working on it. Can you imagine working that high up?
Oh yes.
In 1956, the bridge's workers pulled wires from the Anchorage Pier to other than with 400 diameter 16-ton wheels. Each trip between Anchorage piers took 12 minutes. Workers completed to make the most trips per shift. The Mackinac Bridge is a suspension bridge where the roadway hangs from 2 huge cables. In 1957, wire suspender ropes with steel cups attached at ends hung from the finished cables before workers attached them to bottom portion of the trusses section supporting the bridge deck. Blueprints of the bridge. Got stuff here that they used to sell and stuff like that. The old plate, cups, like a cookie dish or something. This is little souvenirs you used to be able to buy. Now they got all kinds of stuff now. And right there you can see that you remember the bridge walk that I just did. The Jova walkers, many of whom health fattest, offered the governor and me wheat, germ, black molasses, raisins, and other energy-building foods to carry us through the 5-mile stretch. On June 25th, 1958, Governor G. Minion Williams fired the starter pistol for the first Mackinac Bridge walk during 60 members of the International Walkers Associated for walking race across the Mackinac Bridge. We started to import Michigan tradition, the annual bridge walk held on Labor Day the next year. The walk attracted more than 250 racers and pleasure walkers. No longer a race, the annual September trek across the bridge now draws more than 60,000 people each year. Right there, you see a woman running across, speed walking, runners. Interesting thing is, when I was there, they even talked about people from other countries came here just to walk our bridge. They had people from Paris, England, Japan, Afghanistan. I even met some people from Puerto Rico that were there. I heard a story about a person that was from Australia, flew here, walked the bridge, got back on the plane, and flew back home. That's all they did. Now that's dedication. Here, look on this piece of paper right here. This is a sample of the bridge wire for the Mackinac Strides Bridge. And you see all that, and they're all wound up together. That's what it looks like. I mean, like I said, they're all tied together, but that's what one piece of the wire looks like. You remember the opening of the bridge, Mackinac Strands Bridge, groundbreaking celebration, May 8th, 1954, Mackinac City, Michigan. And that's the program and all that. A little program there. Modern miracle. And it is. I mean, just to be able to walk that thing. Plaque here. Even if I never amount to a dime or do a lick of work again, I can live proud the rest of my days and brag to my great-grandchildren about how I had a hand in building the Mackinac Bridge. The mighty Mac stretches 5 miles across the Straits of Mackinac. David B. Stedman designed the triumph of beauty and engineering. Those grace lines encourage the natural beauty of the straits. For over a century, people have valued building a bridge, tunnel, or a casualty across the straits. In 1923, the state of Michigan established a car ferry service across the span of water. Vacationers and hunters, their cars one behind the other in a streaming endless line, often waited several hours to make the 45-minute ferry trip. In 1950, the Michigan Legislature created the Mackinac Bridge Authority, headed by former U.S. Senator Preston M. Brown. Bridge construction began in 1954. Utmost attention was given to workers' safety and wise use of the $99.8 million bond issue. Governor G. Bennon Williams paid for the first $3.25 toll when the bridge opened for traffic on November 1st, 1957. Even got a big picture right here, this other area of the bridge walk. And that was back when they used to have traffic on one side, and now they close it off completely. You can't even drive across it when they're doing the bridge walk. And I did that. I was so proud of myself when I did that. And I plan on trying to do it even next year. Remember the bridge walk right here? Look at that. 1982, Tri-County Bicycle Association, Lansing, Michigan. Then the 19th annual Mackinac Bridge Walk, Labor Day '77, Straits, Mackinac. Somebody donated their shirt they bought. And all the patches right there. I actually bought me a patch and put it on my backpack now to remember that I walked the bridge. Picture of the mighty Mac right there, and this canoe rolling across in front of it. The old mighty Mac. We got like a poem up here. The Mackinac Bridge is magnificent in steel and concrete of the spirit of the people of Michigan. The spirit, adventurous, unproud, respective of the past, but eager to meet the future. The spirit of the people for whom no task is too difficult, no job too big. Governor G. Minion Williams, 1958. You see right here is a map of Michigan. And right here, that's where the Mackinac Bridge, and that's where it crosses over to the Upper Peninsula. So yeah, you ever get a chance to get up there, even just to see the Mackinac Bridge, even if you don't want to walk it, get up there and see Mackinac Bridge and the Upper Peninsula. It's a beautiful place.